So, hello, good evening and welcome, as David Frost used to say. Giving this blog, video diary, whatever you want to call it, thing another go. I enjoyed doing the first one, got some lovely feedback, some nice comments from friends. One thing I will need to correct right now is I do not hate all children, despite comments that were made by someone up in the Newcastle area. I say no more. So what we're going to talk about today, 4th of December, it's the run up to Christmas, and let's talk about Christmas for a second. We've decided to Americanise our country yet more, so as well as Halloween, which has now developed into this massive trick-or-treat festival with children all over the place, begging for sweets or threatening to egg your house, as well as the proms, which when I was a kid, a long time ago, has to be said, we didn't have a prom at the end of the school year, we just had a school dance. Quite good fun, some interesting things happened, but that's another story entirely. But now we've decided to bring in Black Friday, and Black Friday, as I understand it in America, is the day after Thanksgiving, when lots of shops discount things so that people can start their Christmas shopping. Fine, all well and good. But somehow it seems to have come to this country as well. We don't have Thanksgiving, but I'm sure there's time for that to turn up. And then you have things being shown in papers such as, I hate to use the word papers and the Daily Mail in the same sentence, but such as the Daily Mail, where a guy's being restrained at Asda because he's trying to get some sort of amazingly cheap television. First of all, completely wrong. Why is he shopping at Asda? Nothing against Asda before anyone says anything, but why is he shopping for Christmas presents in November? Okay, Christmas is a December festival, despite what Morrison's in Blackburn believe when I was up there in September, and they'd actually got Christmas selection boxes on the shelf. Really, truly, and I say this every year, and everyone says this every year, Christmas should be in December. By the time you get to December, you're totally fed up with it as a festival. But anyway, that's a bit of an aside. Another aside on this actually. I really dislike those smug people who go in the middle of July. Oh, well, I've done all my Christmas shopping now. Why? Okay? What's wrong with the good old-fashioned way of doing it, leaving it to December the 24th, going into your local garage and hoping for the best? I don't see a problem with that. However, so we've now got Black Friday in the UK. Is it going to take off? I do hope not. As an idea, it sounds horrendous. I'm amazed at every year by the consumerism around Christmas. I went to the Old Kent Road, which is close to where I live, on Saturday, and Argos were, sorry about that, it's my neighbours. Argos were actually having people on the door giving out numbers so that punters who were coming to buy stuff could go in an orderly fashion. Unbelievable. Anyway, so I think that's covered that bit of Christmas. Christmas decorations, well, found out today that certain people who will remain nameless don't approve of Christmas decorations in certain areas, and therefore we're not going to have any, but we're going to find a way around that, so don't worry too much. What else has got to me recently? Buses. We're back to buses again. Funny enough, my last one talked about buses. TfL, who are Transport for London, who run London buses, have this wonderful habit where they actually just cancel buses and terminate them early. So if it looks like they're running late and they're not going to hit their target for the number of buses that arrive on schedule, they just cancel them because then they don't count. So I had that again this evening. I got on the bus, and about 5 stops from where I live, which isn't that far from the end of the line, they just said, right, everybody off. So that bus was taken out of service, and you're then having to cram on everybody who's been on that bus onto the next one, which is already packed because it was commuter time, it was a busy time. Now personally, I really do think TfL do a fantastic job. You know, here in London, we wait on average, certainly on the route that I'm on, during the day, between 7 and 12 minutes for a bus. and that is brilliant. I know there's parts of the country where buses are every half hour. Sometimes in the rural areas, you're lucky if you see a pony and trap once a week. So we can't complain too much, but it is very, very frustrating when they just decide to cancel a bus for no reason. The bus is perfectly serviceable, the driver's quite happy driving away, and they kick everybody off. So please stop doing that, because, alright, yes, it makes your stats look good, but it makes your customers feel really, really bad. Anything else that's got to me this week? Not really, actually. I spent some time up with my family last week, and it was lovely as always to see them. It was, I don't spend enough time with them or talking to them, and I probably should spend more. The run up to Christmas means there's things going on. It's going to be an interesting couple of weekends coming up, and on the whole, not feeling Christmassy at all. Really weird. Normally, as soon as you see the Coca-Cola Holidays Are Coming advert with the trucks running along and the lights and everything else, that always feels like the start of Christmas, but for some reason this year it hasn't. And I think that's down to the adverts themselves. We were talking about it today, and it's amazing how many adverts actually seem to be almost depressing or wanting to make people cry. You've got the John Lewis advert where they spent, I think it was £7 million on this cartoon of Aesop's Fable, and the hare wakes up the bear for Christmas. And if anybody wants to see a really great ending to that, buy this week's edition of Private Eye, because they've got a fantastic picture on the front of it. I'll say no more. You've got the Marks and Spencer's advert, which is spending a fortune taking someone through all sorts of different fairy tales. You've got I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Samson or someone. A bloke on a boat, and he has to get shaved and everything so he can talk to his family on Christmas Day, even though he can't be there with him, and so on and so forth. It seems to be a very, not negative, but very downbeat types of adverts at the moment, trying to get a reaction out of people. I don't know whether it works or not, but for me, it gets irritating after the first couple of times watching them, especially as I'm a complete and utter crybaby and have a tendency to just burst into tears over absolutely nothing. So this guy, I remember the first time I watched this one with the guy in the boat, and I was just like blubbering wreck. What can I say? That's me. So that's it really. That's all I have to say at the moment. Hopefully that's enough. Maybe I'll get some people watching, maybe not. Maybe I'll just never do this again and go back to doing the old keyboard version of the blog. But to be fair, this is much easier. Although having said that, I've recorded this now about 10 times because I couldn't get the opening right. The final thing to talk about, and it is the final thing, is the big news of the week. Apparently, Tom Daley released a video on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, making really good use of social media and basically announcing to the world that he's going out with someone, and that someone is a guy. Should this be news? The real answer is no, it shouldn't be news. The fact that Tom's going out with a guy doesn't mean he's not the fantastic diver he was before, who's going to go over to Rio 2016 and will hopefully win the gold for the UK or Great Britain. And one day it would be fantastic, and I think everyone, whether you're gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender, whatever, everyone would agree on this. One day it would be fantastic if there were no coming out stories. There was no need for anybody to come out, and if they did, they just said to their family, oh, by the way, this is my boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and they said, yeah, okay. That would be fantastic. That would be a fantastic way to move forward. It's going to be a long time before it happens, particularly for someone who's in the public eye, but hopefully one day it will. And that's it. I will see you soon. Bye.